This is the Gentlemen's Club podcast. I am your co-host, Cardell. I am sitting with the lovely
Amanda.
Over there in the back, it's my brother that's black.
Hey guys, it's me, Zach. I'm really glad you said that because I think people wonder.
You are this mysterious man in the back.
Oh no, that happens.
I think people wonder.
That's happened to me at jobs when I go for the interview and whatnot. Like, Ashton, okay.
So you're Zach?
Yeah.
That's me.
No, that's me. That's me.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy. How you guys feeling?
Good. You sound low energy.
I sound low energy?
Yeah, you were like, hello, welcome to the podcast.
I just wanted to switch it up, to be honest
Oh,
with you.
okay.
Yeah, because I'm always loud. And, when you listen to yourself back and you're like, damn, what you so loud for?
See? Now you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get it. I get why people don't like me.
Oh, my gosh. Don't say that. The energy. They need the energy.
I think it does help.
Yeah.
Ashton, you did forget something very important, though.
What is it, Zach, that he forgot?
Episode number 51.
That's a fact. 50 of them things. 50 of them. Many more to come. Many more to come.
Yeah, we on our way.
That's a fact. But yeah, how are you guys doing? How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling great. I mean, any time that it's above 80 degrees in Chicago is a good time.
That's true, but my kneecaps are sweating.
You got that back of the knee sweat?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it.
I'm not going to lie. Yesterday, I didn't leave the house until dusk.
That's smart. That's really smart. That's smart.
Shit.
No, see, for me, it's like I feel like you have to, in Chicago, if you don't utilize the sun, then it will go away.
That's true.
Don't you feel that way?
I do when I start off my day until you walk a lot and you move around, and then you just this is a lot. This is a lot of sun. And then you got to go recuperate.
I have always lived with the mindset of, well, not always, but recently enough, I've lived with the mindset of, if I miss the sun enough, I'm just going to hop on a plane. I know where the sun goes.
That's true. That's very true. You're right.
Right. There are other places that the sun shines.
And let me tell you something.
Round.
Arizona in January is amazing.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that sounds like perfect weather. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, actually.
Traveling?
Just Arizona.
Like moving there?
Just because we talk about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we got a trip and whatnot coming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. And you know what? You said, hey, I'll talk to you about that later, and we never had that conversation. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop talking about it.
And we definitely have to have it after this recording because I got to tell you something.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right.
They're secretive in this.
Yeah. So I had like that parent epiphany. I was with my son. He's in that stage of he wants to try to earn money.
Okay.
So yeah, so we're getting into some things that he can always use to help that at such a young age, and it was his last day of school last week and whatnot, and we just said, congratulations.
What grade is he in? What grade is he in? Sorry.
He's going in the 6th grade.
Stop it.
He's a middle schooler.
He's a middle schooler. Oh my God.
Brother.
It's wild out
That's
here.
the most awkward stage of your life.
It is, but he told it to me and I felt so offended. Like, what did you just say to me?
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know how to handle that. But I understand now when our parents be like, oh my God, he's getting so big. Time just flies. You're going to blink and they're going to be driving the car. And I didn't, you hear it, but when it happens to you in real time, you feel a way about it. So I'm going through that.
Aww.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? It's a blessing that you're even able to go through it.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's true.
I feel I'm pretty successful.
Damn, you old.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty successful this far.
You were old 30, bro.
Right. You've been through a lot.
That's wild.
You had a whole child and you grew him up. Like, what?
And he's turned out to be a great human being, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can come rake my leaves, man, if you want some money.
Listen, I promise you he'll pull up and do it.
Cutting the grass. I went through that too, growing pains.
That's what he's doing. On a riding lawnmower too, like the adjustable ones with the levers and whatnot.
These Gen Zs?
Yeah.
Gen X?
Yeah.
What
But it's like, bro, if you can work the PlayStation controller, you can do this.
That is an absolute fact.
You can do that. You should be coordinated.
You're overqualified.
Yeah, that's
I was like, back in my day, we had to push it, okay?
I still do. I'm an old soul. It's like, nah, I don't want to ride it.
Do you think it's therapeutic a little bit? I think it's therapeutic to cut the grass. I don't know what that is.
You throw the New Balances on and you just
It's like I listen to my music, I'm in my zone.
Yeah.
It
does work.
I throw on the gray sweat shorts the dad had, the New Balances.
So you're somewhat thottish out there when you're cutting the grass? I mean, just let me know.
The neighbors
yeah,
what?
for real.
It's that dad energy, man.
I just see
Wifey
this,
get mad at you. Change the shorts. Different set of shorts.
I was
She
gonna say that
hates
too.
any of my gray sweat anything.
That's
I'm gonna cut them up. No, you're not.
you're bugging, and you like this shit,
Oh, she tries to take my shit and wear it all the time, and that's why you're not gonna cut it up.
right? Because man, when they steal your clothes,
Yeah.
when they
She steals my
What-
shirts every
It's
single day.
go ahead.
ask a lady, what is it about taking a man's clothes that's a thing?
It's the smell for me. It's the smell. Like there's a certain smell like when a guy wakes up in the morning. I mean, let's hope you don't have BO, but even that smell, like that natural wake up smell is
Natural musk.
fire.
I've been
Fire.
smelled a lot.
If you like the person, like if you
Yeah.
really like the
Yeah,
person.
if you love them, you love everything about them, and their
Yeah.
smell does something for you.
Yes,
Okay.
it's the smell. That's what I think. It's the smell, but it's like the comfort too. Like this, my man's hoodie.
Yeah, that's
You know?
whenever I get smelled by a woman, that's how I know I have
Yeah.
it. Like you belong to me now.
You smell the top of their head. That's where you really smell.
Yeah.
That's the real
It's like a baby?
natural smell. Yeah, like their hair smell.
Really? This is interesting.
Okay, I'm creepy. Sorry.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not. Listen. I'm with you. I hear
Yeah.
this all the time.
Amanda, you're every bit of 5'3". What dude do you smell in the top of his head?
When you're asleep. When you're asleep.
When
I
you're
know.
laying down or whatnot.
Yes, every dude is probably about a foot taller than me.
That's
so,
funny.
Yeah, but yeah,
Oh,
I'd
man.
smell the top of the
I've
head.
always wanted to ask other women about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But like I said, I always say too, like if you don't like their smell, because I said like when I really like somebody or I'm in love with them, like even their breath don't smell to me.
Yeah.
So like
Okay.
even like if you stink, I'm like I don't like you.
Oh, shit.
Because it's like you
That's
know.
smart.
It,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
accurate. That makes sense.
yeah.
I think I read a book somewhere that like your scent is part of
It's a part
an
of.
aphrodisiac.
The
yes, that's a fact.
pheromones and whatnot.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
That is a
You
fact.
know, so some of your scent, a woman attaches to it, and sometimes that's all it takes for her to be attracted to you.
Yeah.
And she'll never figure that out.
Wow.
It's like, you ain't shit, but I still here. Why?
If you walk past me, that's the vibe. Like if you're my ex and you walk past and I smell the smell, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
That's probably
it does things.
That's probably the whole key to what we were talking about upstairs. We're not going to go into grand detail,
Right.
But he just smells like weed all the time, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Some women love that. I mean, it is what it is. Speaking of walking by your exes, how often do you guys spin a block on your exes?
Well, I am in a relationship. So,
Sorry. When you
none of
were
the above.
when you were
Think
single.
way back when.
Yeah, man.
When I was single,
Yeah, how often did you spin a block?
it probably happened every time. If we're being honest.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you mean when you're saying that? Like, give me.
All right, so the terminology in today, when you spin the block, is not only a reference to
I can't. with
shooting gang members, but
I don't know if we needed that.
I'm sorry, but it's real. But there's two different definitions, so you have to be clear. Or it could be used as a repeat.
Yes.
Run it back.
But I'm saying-
so we just say spin the block.
No, I definitely understood what you
Okay.
meant, but
Without the gang member reference. but
Right,
okay.
right. But
I was like, my whiteness is showing out. But what I meant was like, do you mean text them? Do you mean see them? Do you mean call them?
I guess I could say re-engaging in any kind of way. Most of the time,
Yeah, I would say all of the above. Even the most innocent of levels was like, hey, how you been?
I get my feelings hurt easy though. So like if I like reach out and then you don't like reach out, that I get my feeling hurts, then I'm like, you know what? No.
listen,
Like,
I was notoriously known for the check-in. Not proud of that.
you seem like you are. No, just kidding.
It used to be because I was thinking of them and genuinely wanted to know. Oh shit, I ain't talked to her in a minute. How's she doing?
And it's the Instagram
But-
social media thing.
How
too.
many of your relationships that ended on bad terms did you do that with, though?
Every single one.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
There have been a few that, yeah, you're right.
Is it every single one that you followed up with? Like you follow back with?
You know what happened? I'll be honest with you. It's a lot of the more prominent ones. A lot of the more significant relationships that I've had.
Yeah.
Those I genuinely
years,
yeah,
the years.
those I genuinely loved. It took a while for us to actually detach.
Yeah.
For sure. And I know I played a part in that.
You know what it is?
What's
It's
that?
that bullshit ass statement. Let's just be friends.
Don't like
Listen,
yeah.
okay, no, as
You can't be friends.
as
It's a bad
as
idea.
as a reformed toxic guy, I can actually say that mean it and follow up with it, I realize that there's still a lot of feelings and things like that weren't settled on another side. That doesn't allow that to happen. But because of my reputation, it still looks terrible.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I am terrible at that shit. That whole let's just be friends thing. Because I'm gonna get my feelings at some point in time. And it's just gonna be like.
I literally tell people, I'm like, no, we ain't friends.
I can actually detach though. I can actually detach and just be your friend.
Here is my
But can they?
Never.
My response to it. If it's that easy to detach, how strong was the connection to begin with?
That's a great point.
If I can speak honestly about myself, the way that I date, I date in the friendship first, if that makes sense. Like,
oh no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we talked about this beforehand. If I know who you are as a person first,
yeah,
I can learn to love everything else about you, and then I can separate those feelings and go back to just liking you as a person.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
But I think it's just hard. Like for me, like I'm emotional. So for me, even if there's a slight chance, I will. And I might, like I said, I get my feelings hurt. So if we're in a friendship and then I'm like, oh, I thought there was something there unspoken.
Listen, okay, I'm also a psycho, so I have a cutoff switch. All right, I have a cutoff switch. So when I know you need to have zero feelings in this type of interaction, I hit the button.
Eject.
Yes. Trauma responses.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that shit runs deep.
Yeah, that's a trauma response.
But have you ever gone back with an ex just to mess around, and then like so that's where those lines get blurred?
I think that is. I think.
Carry on.
Zach, you looking real suspicious in the back there.
He can't really talk much about it.
Checking the beams. The beams up there.
I think that's usually a comfort thing. Sometimes you come across people that you have great sexual chemistry with, and that is not the easiest to always find.
Yeah.
And
so it's like, and it's also the numbers thing.
And after you
don't have to add a number.
That's true. And I know a lot of I know a lot of women pull that one. I know a lot. Well, I didn't want to add another body, so I just went back to the old work. Like I understand. I get
you don't have to do you don't have to do the leg work to initiate either.
It's just like right there. Quick. And a lot of times the guys are like, "Oh yeah, whenever you want that old thing back, just slide." And women know that.
I think a lot of women count on that. It's just like, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" And I was like, "Oh."
You know what? That used to work on me when I was young and immature, and now when it happens, I feel offended.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're a little hurt?
If we don't have that, if we haven't been clicking.
If I told you that we shouldn't have sex anymore.
Yeah. True, but if we haven't been clicking and then you hit me out of nowhere like, yo, I want that. And I'll be kind of offended.
Yes.
Like, you ain't even ask me what my fucking day was. I ain't no piece of meat. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know what? And I totally understand. For sure. If somebody hit me like that, I'd be like, get out of here. But my thing is, too, is that I do feel like I get my feelings hurt a little bit if I reached out and then you didn't respond. Like, so I don't even reach out. Because if I reached out to you and was like, what are you doing? And then you don't respond.
Yeah.
Everything's shattered. My self-esteem is down the drain.
Okay,
you know
I get you. And
I'm really bad at that.
Not responding?
I respond.
That's a fact. I am terrible at responding.
You're getting quieter on the group checks.
I'm trying, man.
I'm messing with you, man. You good.
If I reach out and I don't get a response back, it doesn't really bother me because like I don't know where you're at in your life and everything like that.
Sure.
And for all I know, I'm interrupting your peace, which is not what my intention was.
Right.
So if you don't respond, it's like, okay, cool, I get it, not a big deal. But if you reach out to me, even if I am in a good place and you're not interrupting my peace or anything like that, sometimes I look at it and say, nah.
Do I need to go there? Do I need to go there?
I've done that every time because I always think, well, maybe this is a different scenario. I always want to try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
It never is, though.
90% of the time, it is the same scenario. Every time.
Yeah.
I've had messages where I think the intention was actually genuine to be nice and wish me the best.
Right. You still rejected that
I
shit.
Still didn't respond.
Well, and like I said too,
and it is no negative towards those women. I'm sorry. I just couldn't.
I have a big thing too. Like if I know you have a girlfriend, I'm big with that. Like I will make sure that is known. Like I am not interrupting anybody's relationship. That is not my intention. So some people will come back and you're like, I know you have a relationship. and I am not like, so it me not responding to it may be the best situation,
Right.
so that I don't even like, I'm not involved, I'm not into that, you know what I mean?
It's a weird position as a guy to be in that because
If a girl reaches out to you,
and she has a boyfriend. I found myself as I got older. I found myself into one of those like, oh, you know what I mean? You wildin'. Like,
yeah, especially
you gotta
if you
relax.
know the
Like, you got,
person.
yeah, you got a man. You dealing with all that. I understand you might not be fulfilled in whatever areas that you need, but yeah, I
I'm
find
not
myself.
the one.
It's
Oh, you are the one.
no. I used to be the one.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm a reformed toxic guy, so
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. I don't want that.
And I'm not with the drama, like
The drama that comes with it.
For what?
If you can, a lot of times when they pull, if they're moving like that, it's messy. Like, you already messy.
And like I said before, why would I even try with this person? Because are you gonna cheat on me if we together?
The same way
Come
you
on.
get them is the same way you lose them.
Stop it, right?
I heard you.
Right.
But yeah, we were talking about that because we saw we saw Diddy shooting a shot at J Lo.
Yes.
The Throwback Thursday pick.
I'm like, where's Drake at? Because he was with J Lo too, right? A little bit, a little minute.
That situation is still fresh.
Oh,
He needs a little more time to let that
To-
breathe.
yes.
But it's like,
I loved it. I loved the Diddy post. I thought it was so funny and like cool.
and J Lo went right
Shooting
back
your
to
shot.
J-Lo went right back to Ben Affleck.
Okay, guys, what is you talking about Ben Affleck? Like, he is so vanilla, and that's what I'm trying to say. He's so vanilla. What is that? Killing
But,
like
okay.
terrible at the
All-
Batman movies. Like, what are we doing?
All I'm going to say is he has to be doing something. Right.
Listen, and
Because
that-
she went like immediately right back.
okay, and that was my thing with that connection that you had with somebody. Maybe it was bad timing. Maybe it didn't work out how it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you've grown and you had some time to reflect, you're a different person now.
Maybe Ben Affleck is hung like a horse.
I really hope not, because that's sad.
I don't want to think about any.
He
man's
walks
penis
around with
size.
an extreme level of confidence, and like you said, he is
You're not
incredibly
wrong.
vanilla.
You're not wrong.
There is nothing exciting
What-
about
no.
Ben Affleck.
They call that
he
big-
act
they
like I'm still
Yeah.
gonna get.
They call that
mine.
big dick energy, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
walk around.
Yeah.
How did he get her? Okay, yeah. How did he get her in the first place? I don't know.
I think it has a lot to do with certain connections. Like, okay, can
like
you?
Diddy and Ben Affleck, like not the same.
I don't know, and I'm not here to judge anybody's character, but Diddy is a wild dude behind the scenes.
No, he's super wild, but I
No,
mean, like
that's
he's.
Diddy is a wild dude in front of the scene.
Yeah, but I hear
but what I
even
mean,
more so behind.
He's like status. He has status.
True. But okay, can I ask you a question? Is there a specific ex that you know has a direct line to your heart?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think that plays a very big role when it comes to spinning the block.
It's so hard. Like I said, it's
You know who you can spend the block on.
yeah.
That's a fact.
It's very hard because, like I said, I mean, no matter what, I'm gonna hold on hope. No
And
matter what.
if they try to stop you, you can definitely still spin the block. You probably shouldn't because now you're causing emotional trauma.
Yeah, I was
but-
about to say, I'll take it a step further. You guys could have, the last conversation you guys could have had could have been horrendous, nuclear even.
Yeah.
But you know.
You can still spin
Oh,
it.
I could text her right now.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
And that's I never
But
want
wait, there's always a time frame that can work, and then after, like, sometimes it's like if you text that person and they're like totally disconnected, they're with somebody else.
Yeah.
You're like, I lost the time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what
And
happened?
I never want to be in that position of power, but a lot of times, yeah, it's still there.
But I always, it's that whole thing of like you thinking about all the good things, and when you're feeling a little lonely, you're thinking about the good things in this relationship, and I'm not thinking about like the terrible toxic behavior that was there too.
The reminisce doesn't work on me.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I feel you.
The
What do you
reminisce just when okay,
Like you think of everything?
I do. Yeah, I think of everything, not just the good. So I love to live in the moment. So talking about the moment is great. I'll give you all of my feelings there.
For sure.
But it actually inspiring anything in me to try to recreate that with you, zero.
I probably focus on the negative afterwards.
Immediately after.
Like if
Immediately after, but
No, like
Immediately after,
if say
yeah.
we're hanging out just, to be friends, whatever the case may be, all of your negative attributes that I kind of just like dealt with, it's like, it's not that bad.
Sitting
I
right-
can't fucking stand it now.
Sitting right in the back of my head.
see, when I see you in person, that would come back. But if I'm sitting alone in my house, I'm thinking of the good stuff. But if I saw you and then immediately you talk, I'm like, crap. But you know
That's why I left.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even if you talk on the phone, they'll say something, you're like, oh crap, now I remember. But I mean, like alone in my house, I'm thinking of the good stuff. I'm thinking of the smell of the top of your head. You know what I mean?
Okay, I get
And then I'm like, I have to come back to reality and be like, no, this is not what you want. It didn't work out for a reason, but
Okay, so with it being possibly bad timing, has that ever worked for anybody?
Bad timing, as in
We were together, we had a great relationship, we were going through things, or we were both bad in these areas, separate for
or hadn't grown.
or hadn't grown, or we're going through rough times, whatever the case may be. But it just didn't work out. And when you let it go, you separate, and you think about it, it's like, man, that if I had fixed that, and I know this now, and I handled these situations
I'm in a different part of my life.
Yeah, I've changed and I've grown. Has that happened where you guys reconnect and you're just like, oh wow, you've changed?
I haven't been in that situation. There's been people that I not necessarily been in a relationship with, but I feel like it was bad timing, and like they have come back around, but it's never worked out 100%.
Okay.
Like, you know, those not the one who got away, but like the one who, like, it was never, you know what I mean? Like, it was never like a good time,
Right.
or like they were in a relationship or something, or they got into a relationship or something, or I did.
You know what I didn't realize when you said the one that got away? I didn't realize that more women than I thought like the idea of being the one that got away and you go back and get them.
I think they want to be the one that got away. Like, in their mind, when the relationship ends, they're gonna,
Of course.
Like, as they're leaving, they're like, "You're gonna realize one day that I was the one."
Listen,
It's like, all right.
Every girl thinks that they're like the one, right?
Listen. I've literally been told,
No one's gonna love you like I loved you.
for sure.
That is the most toxic fucking. I'm sorry, you took me somewhere. That's the point of us breaking up.
Facts.
You didn't love me the way I wanted to be loved.
Facts.
Yeah.
But I've literally had, when I've reconciled with somebody, I've literally had them say, it's like, you know what I didn't like? I just like that you didn't fight for me. Like,
yeah.
you didn't treat me like the one that got away. I was just another one.
I always say, I'm like, I'll break up with someone. I'm like, they didn't fight for me. And they're like, you broke up with me.
Brother, I
You told me to get out.
Listen, I will never understand that for the life of me.
Can I say, this is the reason, okay? Most of the time, first of all, we all know rom-coms. That's exactly what always happens. And we watch that stuff brainwashed from young ages. We're like, if the man wants you, he will cross countries.
He will fight for you.
He will
fly for you.
He will
die
cross
for
dimensions,
you.
okay, to get you.
Listen, fair.
Yes.
Let me bring you to reality.
Right.
If you're yelling and cussing and screaming at me and throwing shit at me, telling me to
Look
get
at me, I'm like-
the fuck out.
What I'm gonna do? Stay?
And then I leave.
Right.
And
What you thought?
And then 15 minutes later, you call me and say, "So that's it? You're just gonna leave? You don't really love me, huh?"
Bruh, talking to themselves for about 30 minutes though.
Guys, we look so dumb, but like I've done that multiple times. Are you
I'm
kidding?
almost home.
I'm not coming back for that shit, man. You got
That's
me.
so
I'm not gonna lie.
hilarious.
I've turned the car around more times than I should have. More times than I should have.
Of course.
You know what?
And we love it.
I was with you. You know what happens? You know where they mess up at? When they acknowledge the turnaround. When you say, "Well, you're just gonna come back anyway."
Oh yeah, hey.
Guess
that's
guess
a
what?
slap in the face.
Guess what? I'm never fucking
It's
coming
such an
back.
ego thing back
I'm
and forth.
never
right?
fucking coming back now.
It's an ego.
And that is definitely an ego
you
thing.
know what it is?
It's
It's-
ego on my end too, though.
Right.
Like the girls' end and the males' end. Yeah.
You know what it is? Watch this.
Yes. This is a watch this moment. But you know why though? Because in that moment of me turning around, in whatever way that is me just putting my shit to the side. I'm putting my ego to the side, and I'm coming back to try to reconcile with you or
Yeah.
to comfort you. And for you to say, "Oh, well, you're just gonna come right back,"
It's rude. Yeah.
you're exploiting that, in my personal opinion. You're taking advantage of that vulnerability. I made that choice personally.
That's
I wouldn't.
But it's
I
the
wouldn't
same-
do it.
Okay, in an argument like that, it's all about who we're trying to. People are trying to have the ball in their court. So, like, I'm sitting there like, oh, you're going to come back anyway because I'm feeling salty right now. So I'm like, I have the power right now. And then when you don't come back or you do, like, it's like we're fighting for the control.
It's an ego battle.
So it's like either person is fighting for the control of the situation. So we say that as a defense mechanism because we're feeling empty right now. Like, we're feeling like, oh crap, what if they don't come back? So I'm gonna say, you know what, you're gonna come back anyways. And then I'm sitting in my head like, I'm going, when you leave, I am crying like, what if he doesn't come back?
The full breakdown, the ugly cry,
snot and everything, like literally, because it's a power thing, you know.
I hate,
and you have to say that. That's just part of
once
the
you
problem.
get to a healthy place,
correct.
That is the point.
We really got to talk about more healthy things.
Once you get to a healthy place.
It's relatable, though. The toxic stuff is relatable.
You're not going to come back.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, I'm walking out for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
And once you can, like, clearly get that in your head, no matter what the other person says, it's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not putting up with this anymore. You're not going to talk to me like this anymore. You're not going to treat me like this anymore.
Yes.
You're not going to disrespect me anymore. I'm not going to put up with the lies, et cetera, et cetera. And this goes on both sides of things.
Facts.
There's a certain level of respect that you should have at all times with your partner.
That's true.
And when you don't, the relationship should end. And I think that nostalgia plays a big part of it.
True.
Loneliness plays another part of it. Why we end up spinning the block. You start to think about the highlight reel. It's like, oh man, I remember when we went on vacation together. I remember when we did that candlelit dinner on the rooftop. I remember when we did yada 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 blase.
Yeah.
Either from something triggering that memory, if it be a picture or a statement or even that person reaching out to you.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that's not all your relationship was.
Can I say the one thing that used to reel me in was acknowledgement of the things that you did wrong. When we're fighting and upset with each other, your ego's too big to ever acknowledge those things. But give it enough time.
Oh yeah.
And as they grow and they reflect, for that to be acknowledged, that means a lot for me.
Here's the thing.
It used to be a trap.
Here's the thing about
I still respect it.
Here's the thing about that.
It is a trap, but it's also
the only way that I view it as genuine is if you because I've had this done to me and I've done it.
Okay.
I'm not patting myself on the back. Fuck it.
Okay.
You reach out, you apologize for all the negative things you did, and then you leave that person alone. Because a lot of people will lead. Hey, I realize how bad off I treated you, and I really want to apologize, and I'm better now, and I just want to show you how much I've grown. And in all honesty, the person on the other end of that message owes you nothing.
That's true.
And also, if that's what I've heard before, like if that's similar to what I've heard in the relationship, then I agree with you totally, because I think there's a definition. There's one thing of just saying like, hey, I really messed up in this relationship and I'm sorry. I'm super proud of what you're doing. Good for you.
Right.
Have a good life. Okay. Right. And then like walk away from that. But yeah, if you're talking about show me, I want to see you.
Right.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, why do men say that? I've had so many men say like, oh, so we never gonna see each other again, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like,
you know what that means, because you already know. Amanda, you know that. Yeah, it's they just want to see you again.
I know, but it's why do you say it? Okay, Ashley. I'm just saying. What I mean is, why do they say it like that? Like I would say, like I love you, I miss you.
It's a more creative way. They think it's a form of game.
Okay.
Because
it's a more creative way of saying that I want to see you again.
Because I love you and I miss you means I have to acknowledge feelings that I don't necessarily want to acknowledge.
Yeah.
I just want to see you again.
I might have ulterior motives.
Yikes.
Might.
Yeah. Going back to the whole apology thing and acknowledging wrongs and whatnot, it took me a little bit to realize that I was causing damage by doing that for myself.
Yeah.
I've very serious breakups, really messed me up, and as I had time to reflect, I reflect a lot.
You felt guilty and
I needed you because I know that you're hurting and I know you might be feeling this way. Let me clear this up. Mm-hmm. This is why, and I apologize for this. I know I was wrong here. Mm-hmm. I didn't acknowledge it in the fight or whatever the case may be. And I'm thinking that is helping, or I thought that was helping at the time. And it took me a little bit to realize that I I gotta let that go.
Yeah, before you are ever able to do that, time has to pass.
That's what I was just about to say. That like, if it's 2 weeks after, no, because they're grieving, right? So like, you need time to like let that person grieve.
And if I hate you, no, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I think it's months, 6 months.
But that's the thing. If they haven't processed whatever pain they feel you caused them, or any of those feelings, they're still holding on to that resentment. So getting right back together or re-engaging so soon, it's never going to be healthy. They're still holding on to that shit. Unless you guys are actually sitting down and talking that shit out and really genuinely trying to work it out. But at the end of the day, time.
Yeah, don't see that person for a while.
Yeah, don't. Please don't.
Don't do it.
It's rough. It's rough out here, man. Where we
I know you, if you live close and you just like want to, you know. Like you want to like.
That's the worst.
Rekindle.
That's the worst. If you guys live close.
Yeah. I've only dated one person in the same town that I live in.
And that's maybe for the best.
I wish I
absolutely.
I wish I did more of that.
It has helped so much. It's like, all right, I don't want to see you. I don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't run into them.
I literally know if I run into you, you tried that shit.
Yeah, that's the worst, bro. If you go out, because then they know where you go.
Oh, different towns don't change that. If they want to see you, they're gonna come to where you are. But
that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
But that's why you have backups.
You always need backup locations at all times.
Again, just don't have people
or buy a new house. That always helps.
I'm saying, like, I'm scared of the people that are going to different locations. Like, I'm scared of you because, like, don't come to my location. That's so embarrassing for you. In my opinion, that's embarrassing. Like,
it's a red flag for me.
I would never, no matter how
I try to avoid that. Yeah, I'll try to avoid that.
Are you kidding me? No, that's so embarrassing. And if you see me out there, like, I will be like, oh my God. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's no.
Yeah. If I see you out there, I don't see you.
That's true. And I'm going to pretend like I don't see you.
Play dead. Just play dead.
No, I'm going about my life. I'm like,
yeah, it's like, no, I'm like, I don't know this person.
That's rough.
Depending on the way you ended things.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Also, I've completely like deaded one of my favorite spots because it was just not worth it.
You have to, and that sucks sometimes, man. But luckily, we grow and we find other things. Where we at on time? This has been episode 51 of the Gentlemen's Club podcast.
Did I start?